Thank you.
So,
Okay.
the first couple of questions I'm going to ask you are the ones we have to ask you. Then I'm going to ask you ones I looked up. Then I'm going to ask you two, and then I'm going to ask you some presidential stuff.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. What
Let's
is
hope
your
I know.
name?
What is my name? Cecilia.
Okay.
Do you need my last name?
Yes, please.
Simolis.
Okay. Where were you born?
Amsterdam, New York.
What is your hometown?
Amsterdam, New York.
What are the names of your parents?
Nancy and John.
Where did you go to school?
I went to grade school, Academy Street School. Middle school was Theodore Roosevelt Junior High, and high school was Wilbur H. Lynch High School, and then I went to Mildred L.E. Secretarial School.
What did you do for a living?
I worked part-time in an office as a secretary. I worked part-time at Joann Fabrics. And then I left those two jobs and I worked full-time for Montgomery County Social Services.
Did you have children? If so, how many?
Twin girls.
What was your childhood like?
Simple. Times were different. We made our own games. We had fun playing hopscotch and roly-poly on the sidewalk. We didn't have television to entertain us on our days off from school. We created our own fun.
How has life changed since you were my age?
Well, we had no color television, no cell phones. Our telephone was a party line that was connected on the wall, and you didn't go more than 2 feet away from the phone when you talked on it. No calculators. The digital society just wasn't there. People walked to where they wanted to go. When they went to work, they walked to work, brought their lunches, brown bag, walked home. It was very rare that there was no school on a snow day. I mean, we weren't hiking up the hill both ways to and from school, but if there was a snow day, we still, no matter what the weather was, we went to school because it was all neighborhood schools.
Yeah.
Nobody had gone to the moon yet. Space travel was unheard of. It was something foreign. Everybody still believed in Superman. It was a lot different growing up.
What do you remember most about the 20th century?
Man went to the moon. Technology just exploded. Let's see. We lost a president. He was killed. The president was assassinated. And that was kind of the end of an innocent era. I think that's about what I remember most.
You were about 6 months old, but do you remember anything about the U.S. dropping the atomic bomb on Japan?
No, but I have a lot of photos from the aftermath of it, because my father was over there. He was on what they call the cleanup detail. So I have a lot of photos of what the cities looked like at the time after the bomb. My mother kept a scrapbook of everyone from our area that went into the service, and there's pictures of different bombing attacks and things like that she has a scrapbook of that I still have.
You were about 5 to 8-ish. The Korean War, what was the most significant part of it?
I think probably my brother being in the Korean War. He had wanted to enlist in the service. My mother didn't want him to, and then he was drafted. He went into the Korean War. I remember writing to him. He was bombed off a hill in Korea, and after that he always had problems with his back. And I remember when it ended, it was a big relief for everybody.
How much do you remember about segregation, and how much did you see it?
How much do I remember about what?
Segregation.
Segregation. Oh, wow. Well, back in grade school, the minister's daughter was in one of my classes. She was in my homeroom. And we used to have a certain time when the whole class would go to the girls' room. She would not go in the same stall that the colored girl came out of. And I thought that was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And we only had a few colored families in Amsterdam, and they lived in one section of the city. For the most part, they were very, very nice, always friendly. Most of the people treated them the same way they treated anybody, but there was always a couple of people that wouldn't touch anything that they touched, didn't want to be around them. I don't know if they thought the color was going to rub off on them. That's all really we had in Amsterdam.
Can you describe how you or your parents felt when the Supreme Court ruled segregation unconstitutional?
Relieved. My mother said she would rather have a colored family live next door to her than a white family with a black heart.
What is the first word that pops into your head when I say the following? Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, death.
Montgomery bus boycott.
Sad.
Next, what are your thoughts on Fidel Castro?
Two-faced.
Two-faced. How come?
When he was just exerting his power, he thought.
What are your thoughts on Fidel Castro?
Two-faced.
How come?
When he was just going into power, he thought the United States was the greatest country. Once he got into power, we were the evil country.
Yeah. What kind of thoughts were running through your head during the Cuban Missile Crisis?
We were scared. It was my generation, and nobody wanted to go to war, but it was close to home.
Yeah. What were your thoughts or feelings after 9/11 happened?
We were in Canada. We had stopped for coffee, and everybody in the place was looking at us. We didn't know why. Then we went to a museum, and when we got our admission ticket, the girl told us what had happened. And we weren't quite sure what was going on until we got to the hotel and was able to see it on the TV.
Yeah.
Your mother called to find out if we were going to be able to leave the country. The borders were really tight. It was scary. And a neighbor of ours, their daughter, had just left that area. She was transferred to Australia. Otherwise, she would have been right in the heart of the action.
Do you think global warming is real?
Not really. I think the Earth itself just goes through cycles, and I think warming is just one of them.
Yeah. In 1954, TV became popular. Did you have one growing up? If so, when?
Not right away. I used to go to a friend's house and watch Howdy Doody. On Tuesdays, we would go to my one aunt's house and I would watch Merton Burl. But I don't think we got a TV until I was maybe in 6th or 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you a fan of Elvis?
I liked some of his music, but I wasn't, crazy about him.
Yeah.
When his movies came out, a couple of the girls passed out at the movies because they were so excited that he was on screen singing.
presidentials. Did you like Obama?
I think his heart was in the right place, but I think trying to turn the country into a socialist country was the wrong way to go.
Were you sad when he left office?
Not really.
No. What are your thoughts on Hillary Clinton?
I don't trust her. I don't trust her. If anybody else had done what she did with her phone, they would have been behind bars by now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think her criticizing Trump for being a womanizer was the right thing to do, because that could come right back at her.
Mm-hmm.
She defended a rapist,
Mm-hmm.
and her husband was not great to women as far as I'm concerned.
What are your thoughts on Donald Trump?
Oh, he's a good businessman. I think he's a bully. He's used to getting things done. And unfortunately, in politics, you have to play nice.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's used to playing nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something he's got to learn. If he can learn it, he might turn out to be a good president.
Yeah. Who did you want to win the election?
Which election?
This one.
I think more Trump, because I knew what I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary, you really didn't know what you were getting.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump, you knew right from the start. This is what you see is what you got.
Yeah. Do you think America is heading in the right direction?
In some respects, I think they are in some respects. As far as if you want to come into this country, come in legally.
Yeah.
I think that's something that should happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're coming from a country that is not friendly with us,
Mm-hmm.
they should be vetted a little bit more carefully before they come in.
Yeah. Thank you.